Hello, second try. Stacy, are you there? I hope you're there. Stacy, hi Stacy. I'm going to hit the guest request button. Oh no, I dropped y'all. Hi Juliana, how are you? dropped it. I dropped the phone. This is not working the best. So anyway, hello. It's good to see you guys again on my side of the mountain. I'm happy and excited about the Leafy Lace Wrap that the stitch that Stacy J designed and that you all chose for me to make with. Stacy is farther along than I am. There are 3 repeats on the leafy lace, and it's really pretty. And I want to show you mine right now, but I want to wait for Stacy because she's farther along than I am. I will say that Courtney Whitehead of Creations by Courtney, she did the math so that, okay, here we go, Stacy, I think I can do it. I hit approve. Okay, I'm sending an invite. Stacy, I'm sending you an invite. It's not camera. Okay, it says it's adding, so hopefully you'll be here soon. I'm excited about this. Anyways, Courtney knows the math. Are you?
I'm here. This is a first for me.
Oh, it's a first for me too. I guess it won't work on a Chromebook, and I know you were trying your computer, weren't you?
I was, but on the iPhone it seems to work, but I have to hold it vertically, and there's just so many rules.
I know. It's no fun, is it? It's no fun. Well, we have a lot of folks watching. I'm excited.
Ooh, hi.
I'm excited about yes. For those of you that don't know, this is Stacy Wilkinson. She lives in Tucson, Arizona. Stacy and Courtney and I have had a business chat almost every week for how many years now? 2 or 3? Has it been?
We're on our 3rd year.
We're going on 3.
Yeah, but it's funny because it was like a blind date, and we're still going.
It was. Yes, and it's been so good. You guys have helped me so much, and I appreciate it. And your stitch tutorials are just gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. But you have helped me so much.
Oh, well, I hope I have. You know, I'm the old lady. I'm like, I tell everyone, I tell Stacy and Courtney that I'm like the old lady in that insurance commercial. You know, that insurance commercial where the guy says, I don't have silence on my phone. And they say, yes, you do. It's right. That's me. They have taught me so much. So, and here we are doing our first live together. And that's fun. I'm excited.
This is my first live ever.
Oh, no. Oh, yay. We're breaking Stacy's leg. That's great. That's great. Okay. I don't know if I got to finish saying how beautiful that stitch tutorial you made of the leafy lace stitch with your nails are so pretty and your hook sparkles.
We like sparkles.
I love it. Yes. Oh, I love anything that sparkles makes me happy. Anything that sparkles. So I want to talk a little bit about the rectangular wrap and what I ended up doing, and it ended up being the perfect width, didn't it? It was just the perfect width.
It did.
What I did was I used an eye hook. Now I'm going to have a big lag compared to Stacy. But what I did with the stitch was I added like a mesh board. I added 2 double crochets and then a mesh. And then we went right into the leafy lace stitch. There are 3 repeats of the leafy lace stitch. And then there's the mesh and the 2 double crochets on each side. And it turned out to be the perfect width. I was excited.
Yes, it's beautiful.
A beautiful drape. Oh, I'm so excited. So I want you to show yours first and then
I'll show mine. No pressure. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this one-handed.
No,
I have to hold my phone, so it's got to be one-handed. So I'm using Mandala in the color Tranquil, which I don't really understand the naming of this. I think it should be like tropical or tutti frutti or breakfast cereal or something. Like, it's so fun and happy. I just love it. Yeah. But anyway, so again, one-handed, I'm going to try this. So this is what I've got, and it keeps going and going and going. It's like, here, now we can see it better. But it's like, I've got it up to like 63 inches, and I only started this yesterday. It goes so fast. It's ridiculous how fast it goes. And I only spent like an hour or two on it today. Like, it's ridiculous how fast it is. But I mean, the drape on this thing, like, it's just, oh, I just feel ridiculous doing this. It's just so drapey and lovely, and I love it. I think you did a great design with it.
Well, I think you did a great job modeling it.
It's not often I throw something on my head that's not a hat. Or my dog.
Well, next time if we do this, we know to use our phones, and then you'll have two hands free, right?
I'll find a tripod or something.
Yeah. Whoops, I dropped my scarf.
I know. Okay. That was so funny.
I love it.
Thanks, Juliana.
Yes, it does look good. I love hers. And I love that Mandala has two different kinds of that color. The color runs are different. The one I picked has marled color runs. Yours has different colors. Mine has marled, and I have to bend down and pick up my scarf. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
Okay. What I am using is Chi, and it is purple.
Ooh.
And I don't have as much done as Stacy. But look
pretty.
at that. It's all purple. Oh, thank you. I love it. And so I'm going to go across slow so you can see the mesh at this edge, and then there's the leaf. And this is so intuitive. I love this stitch. It makes sense to me. It makes sense because I'm going to try to get this up high. Because you start down here with a double crochet cluster, which is 3 double crochets together. Then you expand out, and these chain twos are the links to those double crochets, right?
Yes. Yes. And as you're increasing the double crochets inside the leaf, you're decreasing the double crochets outside. So as a way to remember when you're doing it, I remember it as you start with the 3 double crochets, and then there's 3 on the side, you chain 2, and then there's the 3 double crochet cluster. But then on the next row, you have 2 double crochets, the chain 2, and then because you're going to expand the leaf, then you have, I think, what winds up being a total of 5. And then you never have more than 4 double crochets on the side where the modified one is, and you never have less than 1. So I use those double crochets on the side to guide me so I don't have to keep referencing the pattern. And it's just kind of like a little nerdy mathy thing that to me makes total sense, and I can just cruise on through. That works for you too?
Me too.
Yay!
That is my kind of math.
Yay!
Yes, that is my kind of math. Now, I can't do the math like Courtney does on how to find out how much yardage. I can't do that. But Courtney did the math, and it will take less than 3 cakes. But now I've got to tell you, I am going to play around with the border on the end. I might have a border that is this wide at either end, and then if it will be dripping, then I might have fringe at the end. So probably all 3 cakes. It will probably take 3 cakes. If it looks like it's going to go over 3 cakes, I'll shorten the border. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get it all done next week. I'm really excited about this to go on. Now,
well, now I do want to show something. So since I'm at like almost 64 inches, I'm on my 3rd cake. I still have this much left. So I think 3 cakes is really nice for it. I don't know how long you want to go with it. I figured I'd stop around 64, but I can go to 72 or whatever. But that's, again, it's your design. So I'm doing it as the designer states.
You know, I do want a long border, so maybe we should stop around 64. And then even if the border, even if with both borders it is longer than 72, it won't be too much longer than 72.
Right.
I think that would be wise, don't you?
I think so,
yeah,
too.
That was a good idea. Thank you for asking me that. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have just gone on to 72 and added the extra border.
Well, and keep in mind, I'm a little short, so I don't want something too much taller than me. So.
Right. Now, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'3" or 5'4", but I don't wear shoes, so that makes me seem even shorter.
Well,
I mean, I do. I just
one day we are going to meet in person. Yeah. One day we're going to meet in person, and we're going to be like, "Is that you?"
I know.
Oh my goodness.
So what are you thinking for a border? Are you thinking like fringes or a really cool border like what you have on your heirloom lace blanket? Like what are your thoughts on a border for it?
Yeah, my thoughts are I'm possibly going to go with a pineapple, but then an extension on the pineapple, on the end of the pineapple, so that I can put yes, the border will be on both ends, Lynn. An extension of the pineapple, but that's a thought. But my favorite thought is something that stacks on itself, lace that builds on itself, and then at the end have some sort of V's where they come together, and it's just like a drippy look.
Oh, I like it.
So I might come up with something. Yeah, it might be something similar to the Heirloom Shells baby blanket. Not sure. I've got a few things in my head. It might be a combination of I just might make something up, and then again, I might look on Pinterest and find a chart that I like, and I might do that. So I don't know, but it's fun. I'm enjoying.
I'm sure it's going to be
so
fabulous.
Oh, well, I think it will be. And you all go to Stacy J, Handmade by Stacy J. Go to her channel. Yes. Go to Creations by Courtney. She's a help to me too. You should check out the little girls on those videos. It's so cute. But
oh, and if you like to make clothes, like Courtney is an amazing clothing designer, and she's just I don't know how she does it. She makes all this stuff make sense. And I'm not a clothing designer by any means. Wow. And the stuff that she puts out is just gorgeous. She has this one top that I just love where it's open in the shoulders, and it kind of it like is roughly around the sleeve, but the shoulders are open, and it's just gorgeous. And she just put out a shawl not too long ago, that lacy wrap that's just gorgeous too. And I just all I'm saying is gorgeous. So there you go. Courtney's stuff is gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Well, I don't have any other tips. I thought I had a tip I was going to share, and now I can't remember.
Well, I do have one that made it a little easier for me. Well, two actually. So when I started it, I'm not a big fan of the chain because I lose count for whatever reason. So I did the 57 found double crochets, and for me that worked out really well. So that way, if I'm ever off by one, I don't have to rip everything out. You know, it's just so much easier that way. But also when you're working the leaf, even though I like created this stitch, I still would forget to do a chain 2. So after each row, just like step back, make sure you did your chain 2, because it's funny. I found that I would always miss the chain 2 at the beginning of a row. So I wouldn't notice it till I got to the end of the second row. So I'd have to rip it all out and start all over again. So just kind of learn from my mistakes, save yourself some time. It seriously takes like a second to just make sure you did your chain 2s.
Yes. Hey, Nancy Garnes asked if we would put the link to your channel and Courtney's channel after we're done. And yes, we'll do that.
Yeah, thank you.
I know what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the modified back post treble and front post treble.
Right.
And I didn't find that to be hard at all.
No.
And I actually liked it because it fills in a hole. And if you were making a garment and you wanted that post, or have you got a stitch that uses a cable? Because cable in crochet is pretty, especially if you put it on a sweater or something, but there's a lot of holes.
There's the gap.
Would that work on your, yeah, there's a gap. Do you have a cable stitch that has the modified stitch?
I don't have any cable ones yet, although I'm finding inspiration from turning knitting stitches into crochet stitches. So I feel like I might have a little side project there. But I do have one called the, it's the prong stitch, or the modified split front post. It's a long word. And it's one that Courtney had asked me to do for her, and we modified it so it doesn't have that gap either. And that one's been a big hit. People have loved that stitch. So it's really neat because it's got front posts that act like little V's, and they're really neat. So that way there's no gap. And I've just become such a fan of the modified, just because I don't like a big gap. And especially like if you're going to do a baby blanket or something, I don't like spots where babies can get their fingers and toes stuck in. So I've been, trying to modify where I can, just for, because it closes it up and just makes it nice. But, I think for the shawl, if people didn't want to do the modified, I think they could maybe even skip it because it is so lacy, and maybe just do a regular front post or back post. I'm a fan of the modified because to me it just adds a little bit of oomph to it. But, it's totally, I think personal preference.
Okay. I'll put that in the pattern. I will have the pattern written and free on my blog. And of course, I will have your tutorial on the blog, but then have clear instructions. If that's okay, I'll put your tutorial on the blog, because there's no way I can duplicate what you just did.
Well, and honestly, I think before anybody jumps in to do the wrap, maybe follow along on the tutorial and just do the small swatch, just so you get familiar with how to do the post, because there is in 2 instances where you work 3 stitches on one post, where you do a front post and then a double crochet and then another front post. So just to get familiar with it, because once you got it, you're gonna smoke through this thing. It's just, seriously, 1.5 days.
It's really, yes, it's fast. I was surprised at how fast it was, because I did several variations before I landed on this, and I kept going, oh, we'll have to rip it all out, it's going to drive me nuts. But it just worked up so fast. It really did work up fast. So do you have any ideas on what you're going to convert from knit to crochet yet? You gonna give us any ideas?
I'd like to attempt at the cables. There's some ribbing that I really like. I don't know, because one of the whole reasons why I got into knitting was because I like the stitches so much. So I taught myself how to knit, 3 years ago. I'm a little over 3 years ago, I taught myself how to knit. And now I'm seeing, how can we turn this into a crochet stitch? So I'm open to ideas. If anybody sees knit stitches that they like, please let me know, because I love requests. I love doing what other ideas are. It feeds me, and I love it. So if anybody has any ideas, please send them my way, or tell Chris and she'll tell me. but yeah, I do want to play with the cables, because I love cables. That's the main reason why I started knitting, because cable sweaters, I bought a blanket when I was in Ireland that has all sorts of cables, and I would just sit on my bed for an hour each night just studying this thing. How did they do this? How did they do that? And I was so enamored by it, and I'm like, that's it, I need needles, I'm gonna figure this out. So that blanket did everything for me. And I still have it, even though there's holes in it now.
Yeah. Well, I agree. There is such a smoothness to knitting, but then there are some things that you can't do with in knitting that you can do in crochet too. Right. But I'm so clunky at knit. I'm so clunky, and I just haven't taken the time to get over the clunkiness yet. Right. It takes time. When I'm in my rocking chair, when I'm old and in my rocking chair, I'm old now, but when I'm in my rocking chair,
you got another 50 or 60 years before you're old, darling.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I probably have 10 good years left.
I don't believe it. Well,
but this has really been fun.
It has. Thank you
so
for including me. This has been a blast, and life is not so scary. I was so terrified. This is not scary at all. This is fun.
Well, I'll go live with you if you want to go live in somewhere else in the future. I'll go and be your girl.
Maybe I can drag you into YouTube land with me.
Oh yeah. Hey, maybe we can get Courtney in here sometime too.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to let everybody go. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we sign off, Stacy?
I just want to say thanks to everybody for all of your guys' input and just all the comments. Like you really did help drive just a beautiful pattern, and I think it's just amazing. And it would not be as beautiful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Chris does a beautiful design, but having input from everybody else, I think, is really what makes it more beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, Chris. I love you, babes.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Stacy. I love you too. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.